What's going on, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I want you to hit the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're not a member. And also hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Now, I want to talk about the exchange between two former players about a current coach right now. And that is none other than both Austin Rivers, who is a former player and also, of course, son of current coach Doc Rivers of the Milwaukee Bucks, and also former player J.J. Reddick, who is now soon-to-be commentator and as well as an analyst with First Take and ESPN on various shows. Now, the exchange came when J.J. Reddick, and rightfully so. I don't. There's some things that I don't agree with J.J. Reddick in terms of what he says, but when it comes to Doc Rivers, he's absolutely correct. A lot of the stuff that he did say was correct, and I'm gonna put the video in there for y'all so y'all can go ahead and take a look at what was said, both on both of the sides, because of course Austin Rivers responded too. Now, of course, in whole, J.J. Reddick pretty much, just to sum up everything, what he was saying is that Doc Rivers doesn't really take accountability for a lot of the stuff that he does, and I have to agree with J.J. Reddick on this one. Okay, I do have to agree with him on this one. Now, I want to be clear. I've actually defended Doc a lot over the years, but we also have to call it. Like I said, we have to carve everything down the middle. Doc, like I said, he should be somewhere in the front office, and he shouldn't be coaching. I think his coaching tenure has kind of worn off over the past couple of seasons. Okay, now, while I like the effort that was put in there when he was with us at the 76ers organization, he still didn't get the job done. But that wasn't. I will give everybody this though. There were some things that could not necessarily be controlled. Okay, such as players being injured. Such as certain situations. Having to do what he could with what the best that he had. Okay, but at the same token, he even said it out of his own mouth, and I'm talking about Doc Rivers. He said these people don't care what you have going on. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care if you're struggling with something. They don't care what you got going on mentally or anything. The league doesn't care about any of that. That I will say. However, like I said, we're still holding on to that championship back in 2008. It doesn't take anything away from Doc Rivers' greatness, because he is one of the the all-time coaches to be up there in NBA history. Okay, and I never disagree with that. However, you do have to bring up the fact that he was pretty unsuccessful in some regards, and as far as holding being accountable for some of this stuff, I mean J.J. Reddick is right about some of that stuff. Okay, now I want to make this clear. This isn't no Doc smear campaign, because I have spoke my piece on how he's doing, with the Bucks, and it's not all Doc Rivers' fault. At the end of the day, coaches can only do so much, but the players have to go out there and they have to execute. So it goes hand in hand. Now, to get to what Austin Rivers said, hey, Austin Rivers, he came up, and he said, first and foremost, he's not going to defend, his dad, because he said his father is a grown ass man, which I salute him for putting that first and, that statement first. However, I have to correct Austin Rivers on this, okay? And look, I like both of these guys, man, because they play for my favorite college, in terms of my favorite college team, which is Duke. Okay, so like I said, there ain't no bias there on what neither one of them had to say. But like I said, I'm going with JJ Reddick. Now, when it comes to Austin Rivers was incorrect when he spoke about JJ Reddick and his best years being with the Clippers. Now, with the Clippers, he had only played 28 minutes a game, and I say only because he played slightly more when he was with the Pelicans and when he was with the 76ers. And his best years were when he was with the 76ers, because he averaged 18, I think it was 18.1, and he averaged 17. And then, of course, he went down to what he normally averages, around 15, 16 points when he was with the Clippers, okay? And he was also saying that, he was correct about there not being, necessarily an offense to truly cater all around him, because he was just a catch and shoot player. I always knew that coming out of college that JJ Reddick wasn't going to be, a main guy, because he couldn't really put the ball on the floor. That I do agree with Austin Rivers. However, he's telling JJ Reddick, that he might have been, salty and all this other stuff. But I really don't truly think that JJ Reddick was salty about that. I really think that he was really speaking how he feels about Doc, taking some accountability. Look, everybody thinks that I'm sitting here tearing down Doc Rivers, but if you go listen to my older videos, I've always had an appreciation for Doc Rivers. But like I said, I'm able to be objective. It's just like when Kendrick Perkins had called out. Shout out to Dreamers Pro too. I wanted to give him a shout out before I say this, because I saw this when I was looking at it. I'm going off the rails here a little bit, but it correlates to what I'm talking about. Kendrick Perkins told Shannon Sharp to hold LeBron James accountable when it came to certain things, and he was saying that because he's afraid to hold LeBron accountable for a lot of the stuff that he does. And going back to me, whether I like you or not, whether you're my favorite player or not, you still get the same raft and you still get the same kind of treatment no matter what. And that is, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to call it like I see it, okay? In this instance, I can't just go off the fact that, Doc Rivers, I liked him and I appreciated him as a motivator, and I also like the diligence and the hard work that he brought to the table, because one of the things that y'all happen to not know that I do appreciate about a guy like Doc Rivers is the fact that he was wearing two hats when he was with the LA Clippers. Okay? So, that's one of the things that I do appreciate. But we do have to we have to put that out on the table. And JJ Reddick really did put that out on the table. And, there were some other things, that we're not going to get into. If you go listen to my previous video about Doc Rivers, you'll know about the playoff records, and him being unsuccessful in certain situations and stuff, and he has, unfortunately, his negative place in history. And then on top of that, we want to we always want to talk about the 3-1 lead and stuff like that, which, I mean, we could continue to bring that up, but I mean, we gotta bring something else to the argument and stuff. And so, like I said, man, JJ Reddick, I'm leaning towards him. I agree with what he says, but in terms of Austin Rivers, I'm glad that he came out and tried to, defend from a perspective of him not being Doc Rivers' son, but more from a player, because as I've said before, they both play for the same college. They both have been in the NBA, and they both were players and everything. But I don't think that it was any. I will say this: I don't think that it was any biasness on Austin Rivers' part. Now, I could be wrong. But I didn't take that type of energy from Austin Rivers. But like I said, man, that's just my opinion on the deal. Y'all tell me what y'all feel. Leave your comments. I'm open to all opinions as long as you keep it respectful. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe. Also hit the notifications so that you are notified. Until then, it's straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. I get at you later.